Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy October. Today we are going to be talking about my monthly favorites from the month of September. I've got some good stuff here. Kind of a smaller collection this month. I'm not going to overwhelm you guys too much. A couple of new things, a few old things. Before we get into all of that, I want to give a special welcome to any of my new visitors here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure that you subscribe before you leave and make sure notifications are turned on. And with that said, let's get right to it. All right, let's jump right in. Let's start with a mascara. I'm pretty sure that I've mentioned this mascara in a favorites video before. It is the Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water mascara. This is the mini size and I have only ever purchased the mini size. So this is a repurchase, and then I actually have another one ready to replace this one very soon. I think I tried this out about a year ago. I think I got it as a sample or in like a mini set from Sephora. And I got a comment from one of you saying that the mini is much better than the full size. So I've just repurchased the mini since trying it out, and I love this mascara. It's really long wearing. So if you have watery eyes, if you have very sensitive watery eyes, this is one that I would recommend. It wears really well. It does really great things for my lashes. I am wearing some false lashes on my, like some corner lashes that we're going to talk about in a minute today, but that's not something I always do. I generally just wear mascara and I don't do the lash thing unless it's like a special occasion or sometimes for a video. But this is a great standalone mascara. It gives me great volume, great length. Has a nice small, like very long brush, more of like a natural hair brush. I really like this mascara. It does great things for my lashes. And I've been surprised for how tiny this mini is. You get quite a bit of use out of this. I mean, I do use it up, but I can go a good 6 months before this mascara will run out on me. So let's talk about those lashes. I'm pretty sure I've also mentioned these before, but the more I use these, the more I just fall in love with these lashes. These are the Lash Dummies. Perfect set of lashes. I've said this before, I'm a self-proclaimed false eyelash dummy. I have a hard time getting normal full sets of lashes to work for me, both in applying them and also they just don't generally look very good on me. They close off my smaller eyes. These are the Eyelure London 3/4 length number 003 lashes. I love these things. They're very natural looking. This is a new box. I'm gonna insert a close-up for you guys right here. As you can see, they're a little bit more full on the outer corner and then a little bit lighter on the inner corner. I actually like to trim mine. I trim off a cluster on both the outer and the inner corner to get them to fit my eye a little bit better. They're not meant to go all the way into the inner corner. Mine actually fall right about the mid mark right there once I trim them, and I love what these do for my lashes. They just add the tiniest little extra something and you can't feel them on your eyes the way that you can feel so many other, pretty much every other set that I've tried for the most part. Very lightweight. They're very easy to apply. I don't have any trouble with these. I just put mine on with the Duo Dark Eyelash Glue, and you can wear them for quite a while. They're pretty cheap. I think they're $5.99 if I remember right. It says you can get 5 wears out of them. I probably get more like 10 or 12, but I just love these. They're kind of like, they just add just a little extra something to give you kind of that like lifted cat eye look that just looks so feminine and natural. You can't tell you're wearing false eyelashes. You can't feel that you're wearing false eyelashes. In my opinion, the perfect set of lashes. If you are someone that has given up on trying false eyelashes, try again with these and see if they work for you as well as they work for me compared to other ones that I've tried. Next, I have a new product here. This is from Persona. This is their new Dream Stick bronzer in the shade Mojave. Oh my goodness, I love this so much. I actually filmed a video this last month that ended up not getting uploaded. I can't remember what happened, what the reason was that I didn't end up editing that video. I need to film with it though, but basically in that video I tried out this and the blush, their newer shade of blush, which is also beautiful. But this bronzer, oh my goodness, you guys, if you tried out the first shade of bronzer from them, thought it was a little bit too warm or too orange for you, this is the perfect shade. If you have a light, medium, light, or fair skin tone, I think you will absolutely love this shade. It actually reminds me a lot of the shade Butter Biscuit from Fenty, which you guys might know is one of my favorite cream bronzers. This one does not break me out. The first shade that I tried from them did break me out a little bit, but I've been using this for a couple of weeks now and I haven't had any issues. So far so good. Great formula, great shade, super blendable, easy to use. I am wearing it on my cheeks today and I absolutely love it. Another thing I've been wearing a lot this last month is the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation. I have 2 shades right here. I have the shade Cashew and Vanilla. I think now that my tan from summer is pretty much worn off, Vanilla is a pretty good shade match for me. Today I mixed just a tiny bit of Cashew for the perimeter of my face. I really do like this foundation. It's good medium coverage. It's a really nice natural finish. I actually think it's a little bit more hydrating than I initially thought it might be, considering it says it's a satin foundation. It gives a good amount of hydration to my skin, although I wouldn't say it's like dewy or glowy. It wears pretty well on me. It's super affordable, $6 per bottle. Now Now you don't get a full ounce in here, but if you get 2 shades, which I recommend doing if you can, especially with drugstore foundations, get something you think might be a little bit too light for you and something might be a little bit too dark, and then you can customize the shade to make sure that it's the perfect match for you. It has 0.68 ounces in it, so if you buy 2 bottles, it gives you almost 1.5 ounces for $12, which even for a drugstore foundation is not a bad price. Pretty impressed with this. I'm wearing it today. I've been wearing it a lot this last month and I'm pretty happy with it. One of the new products I'm probably the most excited about that I tried out this last month is from Buxom. It is the Buxom lip liners. These are incredible. Now, they're a little bit pricey. I got mine during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I'm very grateful that I got these at half price because I have a harder time spending over $20 on a lip liner when I have so many from the drugstore, or even like my About Face liners, which I don't know that I'd consider these drugstore because the sticker price on these, the retail price on these is $12, which is much cheaper than most higher end lip liners that are usually around the $20 mark. But these do have a couple of selling points if you don't mind spending a little bit more and you're looking for a good long wearing lip liner. I think these are great. They are retractable, which I think is really nice. It's convenient to not have to sharpen your lip pencil. These ones, I like the triangular shape because it kind of maintains a sharp effect to them, which when you're using a retractable pencil is the one downside, is they lose the sharp tip that they come with. So you're kind of trading the sharp tip for convenience, but these kind of maintain that because they are kind of squeezed here at the top corner right there. So you can be a little bit more precise with them. But the thing I love most of all about these, besides the fact that they're really nice and creamy and long wearing, is the brush. Now, I initially thought this would be useless for me. I love this brush. I mean, it's just a good basic lip brush, but I've never considered using a brush to kind of smudge out and shape my lip liner after I apply it. I feel like it has revolutionized lip liner for me. Now, if you're on a budget, I do think that the LA Girl Intense Wear Auto Liners work just as well, and you could just use a lip liner that you have on hand and get the same effect from these. They last as long, they're retractable, they have the same kind of creaminess. I think these ones might be a little bit thicker, a little bit more waxy, maybe more vertical line friendly, but you be the judge. This one's around $4. These are upwards of $20, but I'm really happy with these. The 2 shades that I have are Hush Hush Henna. This is the one that I'm wearing on my lips today, and then I also have the shade Dangerous Dolly. I actually think these shades aren't that different from each other. This one's just slightly more pink, but they're both great nude shades. In fact, I think I'll probably pull out this lip brush on the back end of this lip liner even when I'm using some of my others. Let me just share a little concealer combo that I've been loving lately. I've been mixing my Flower Beauty Serum concealer with my Dior Forever Skin concealer. This gives me the perfect shade, the perfect finish, and the most incredible amount of coverage. You guys know I love the Dior Forever Skin concealer because it has the most intense coverage, but it can be a little bit thick. You have to be a little bit careful or it can look a little bit cakey. Mixing it with the serum concealer gives it the perfect consistency, but I feel like it maintains the coverage. So I've been obsessed with this combination lately. It's all I've been using for the last month, and I'm very, very happy with it. By the way, I use the shade 1W, which is a little bit light for me, and then the Flower Beauty, I have light medium, which is a little bit dark. So together, match made in heaven. Another thing I wanted to share with you guys this month is my Nude Sticks Nudies Matte Bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. Now this is a blush, technically. I don't know how this could be considered a bronzer because it has more rose colored, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like a brownish color. Maybe like a blush bronzer hybrid. I know some people will do just blush or just bronzer. I do all the steps because I just love makeup so much. I don't want to leave anything out. But I do think this is one of those shades that you could kind of like multi-purpose with. It's beautiful though. I love this in the fall. I am wearing it on my cheeks today. It just gives the prettiest color. Let me turn my light down just a little bit. Let me put a little bit more on. Not that I need it, but sometimes I feel like my lights just, especially when it's really rainy outside today, so I don't have any like supplemental natural light, and it tends to wash me out a little bit. The lighting in my camera, so that's it right there. It's just kind of like a rosy bronze shade. So perfect for fall. Just warms your cheeks up so nicely. It's been a favorite for years. Every fall I pull it back out and it's a standout. I feel like it gets mentioned in a fall video at some point every single year. Okay, let's move into my eyeshadow palettes. I have 3 to mention today. 1 new, 2 old, and one of them, it's not even the palette. We'll get to it in a minute. But let's start with this one. This is a new one. You guys might not be surprised by this one, but I've got to do it. The Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. This is a beautiful palette. Now, it doesn't give you the most variety in color. Like, you're not gonna get a variety of colors. There's a lot of repetition in the colors in here, but there's a lot of variety in the finishes that you get in here. So many unique shimmer formulas in here. You really have to see this in person to appreciate the difference in some of these finishes. If you have a Sephora or an Ulta nearby, I'm pretty sure, I think you can get this in store at Ulta. I could be wrong about that, but if you can find a store to swatch this in, I highly recommend going into the store and swatching out the variety of shimmer finishes in this. They are so beautiful. They are so unique. They're so very different. And it's super fun to mix it up and layer these. They create the most beautiful eyelid you will ever see. If you like a glitzy finish, but natural color eye look, like this, that's what you're gonna get with this palette. A lot of natural tones, a lot of blushy kind of cool tones, but a lot of sparkle, some of it intense, some of it subtle. And I know that of the last 4-ish palettes that she's come out with, they've all made it into a favorites video pretty quickly, but I've got to give it to her. As much as her price tag is ridiculously expensive, she does a really good job with color stories and with finishes. Like, that's why her eyeshadows are raved about so much by me specifically. I haven't seen anyone else really do what she can do with the finishes of her shimmers. I hate to do that to you guys. I know this is an expensive palette. If you have the patience, just wait. I'm really hoping the Alter Ego will dupe this one because it's really, really great if you like more natural eyeshadows. But I can't deny that it's very beautiful. It seems like a lot of people are loving this one right now. In fact, I used it just a couple of days ago on a girl for a homecoming look. Oh my goodness, it looked so pretty. It's like the perfect glamorous but kind of natural eyeshadow palette. So if you're looking for something for like a school dance or for a wedding, this is the perfect kind of color story for something like that. But I have a repeat here. This one I have also been reaching for a lot now that I'm really in the mood, in the fall mood, and it is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Rose Metals palette. This palette is beautiful. I know that Anastasia just came out with another like fall release color story. I was tempted by that palette, but I didn't feel like I could do the Natasha Denona and the ABH. That's just a little bit excessive for me. And now that I've pulled this one back out and used it quite a bit, I just don't know that I feel like I need to try another ABH palette, even though I know a lot of people have loved that one. It's got great reviews. This is such a good one. Initially, I thought this one might be too dark for me, like there weren't enough light shades inside here, but it is beautiful. And this shimmer right here is not as dark as it looks in the pan. It has a lot of reflectiveness to it. And honestly, I think having a little bit darker of an eye in the fall is kind of more appropriate. Like, I think the fall just makes me want to do a little bit more of a deep, kind of warm, smoky eye. And this palette gives you several variations of that type of look. It's beautiful. The formulas are great. The colors are all fantastic. Great pigmentation, so easy to blend. I love the Anastasia Beverly Hills dark mattes, especially her warmer dark mattes. They're so rich, they're so pigmented. I love just kind of the smokiness that they give, and this palette is fantastic. By the way, it is the one that I'm wearing on my eyes today, with the exception of something that I have on my inner corner that we're gonna get to right now. Actually, let's do that right now. Last up is the Sydney Grace Tropicolor palette. I'm not sure if this palette is still available on the Sydney Grace website, but here's what I want to mention. I think I may have already mentioned this palette for this shade before. If you don't know the story behind this palette, they did send this to me when it was released in collaboration with the Fancy Face. It's a really fun one. It's a little more colorful than what I'm comfortable using. On kind of like an everyday basis, it's a little bit bolder than I am brave enough to go. There are a couple of shades in here that are exceptional, and there's one shade in here that is maybe the prettiest shade ever. And it's this coconut shade in the corner. It looks just like a yellowy kind of cream, like a limoncello kind of color. It has a bit of a sheen to it, but it has the most intense pigmentation. This makes the ultimate inner corner shade. If you're looking for something that's going to seriously brighten up your inner corner that's not overly reflective, this is the shade. So let me swatch on the back of my hand for you guys. Seriously, the amount of pigment in this is just insane. It is so incredible. So I want to throw this out there today. Sydney Grace, if you happen to be watching this video, please release this shade as a single or something like this as a single, because I just think this shade needs to be available for purchase. I just mentioned that I did a look for a girl for the homecoming dance, and I've done looks on girls for prom before. There are a lot of young girls in my church that know that I do makeup, and I love doing makeup on them. And every time I've done that for the last year or year and a half since I got this palette, I use the shade on their inner corner every single time. If I ever want something to really brighten up my inner corner, this is the shade to do that. I am wearing it on my inner corner today. You don't even need very much. I just took the tiniest pinpoint brush like this and just kind of did a little V right there. Instant impact, such an incredible shade, and unlike anything else that I own, even from Sydney Grace, I have a lot of great inner corner shimmers that I love, but nothing has the amount of pigment that this shade has. It's absolutely magnificent. So please, Sydney Grace, if you have it in your power, release this shade, I will tell everyone to go buy it because I promise you would not be disappointed. In fact, I kept this whole palette, pulled it out of a declutter pile because I just could not live without this shade right here. I don't have anything else in my entire collection, even close to as bright as that color is. And that is it, you guys. Those are all my favorites for the month of September. What did you guys think? What were your favorites this month? Did you try any new makeup? Did you have some old finds that made it back into your makeup rotation? I'd love to hear. Let me know down in the comments below. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you are looking forward to fall for those of you that are getting close to that time of year. I love this time of year. October might be one of my very favorite months because you're really starting to feel fall in the air. Pull your sweaters back out of the back of your closet, your boots. This is just like the best time of year. The holidays are kind of around the corner. But I hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you so much for watching today. Let me give you one final reminder. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do that before you leave, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.